You don't need the hair dripping wet. It's freshly shampooed, so I'm just going to lightly dampen it. And I'm going to grab a large shear and a large comb, and we're going to go ahead and do a little scissor over comb on the top. So I want to keep a nice square cut, so I'm going to get my center guide and go right down the center. So we get our center cut, that's our center guide, and I want to angle it out and keep that comb going straight out. I don't want to angle it down because it's going to stick up in the back. We don't want this area here sticking up, so that has to be the longest. It can't be too short. And don't forget, we're going to go back through and thin it out anyway, so we're going to get rid of some more of that bulk. So now I'm using the center guide right there, and the previous guide is in my comb. And we're going to do a section on each side. So it may look like I'm cutting fast, but I'm not really. I hear that comment from customers a lot, oh, you're cutting fast. I'm not actually cutting fast. If you look at how slow the comb is moving, it's allowing me to take a lot of sections, so that way when you look closely at the hair, there's no scissor marks or no lines of demarcation. That's why this is probably, I would say, my favorite go-to technique is scissor over comb, because you can be very accurate with it. And if his hair wasn't so thick, I could just do the one step on top. I wouldn't have to go back through with the thinning shears. But since he has enough hair for 3 people, we're going to go back through with the thinning shears. Okay, now we're going to get the opposite side. And if you're wondering why I'm starting back so far with the comb, that's called over directing. So in both corners here where he has a little bit of recession, right there, you want to over direct the comb back to where the recession is, and that's where you want to start cutting. If you start too far forward, if I started here, I'd leave him with a hole right there. So now, if you're wondering, well, what am I going to do with the front? Now I'm going to angle the front towards the center, away from that area, and come across. And that's going to take care of some of the front length and avoid leaving a hole in that area. And then that little spot right there, just take the tip of the scissor. And then if you see, I'm always continually wiping off his face, because we want to make sure we keep him clean and comfortable while we're cutting his hair. Now the next step, I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did, but I'm going to do it with a wide tooth blending shear. What that's doing is it's taking a lot of the thickness out. And this is going to help the hair stay to the side, and it's also going to give it a little bit more longevity to the haircut. It's going to hold its shape throughout the haircut. And if you notice, I'm doing it very systematically, exactly the way I did the top. So if I'm going to pick it up, you can see it's still even across the top, and you can see how even the texture is. So that's what we're going for. We don't want all these short, long, short, long, short, long pieces. That's going to give him trouble when he goes to style it. All right, and then we're just a little heavy back here on this back corner. And then what I'm doing here is, by keeping that comb in the same spot and raising it up, I'm texturizing and cutting length at the same time.